These my dollars make it hurt.
Welcome back to a Week 13 lineup edition of the Deep Cover Podcast. I'm your host, Kerry Stevenson, at Kerry1313 on Twitter. As always, shout out to my co-hosts, my brothers, Mike Crawford, Chris Aguilera. If you're a new listener, do us a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. That'll keep you up on all the great content we're trying to bring to the table. So before we move on with Week 13, we're going to go take a brief look back at Week 12. Bengals coach Zach Taylor, man, he forgot to tell me that it was going to be a Joe Mixon week last week. It's all good, though. We're going to let him slide this time, but, a little heads up would have been nice. T. Higgins got there, 6 for 114 and 1. But at the end of the day, man, Mixon just snapped. Just wasn't enough volume in the passing game to support, Burrow and Chase. I believe Burrow had a rushing touchdown early. And once Higgins got his score, I was thinking, man, I'm good to go now. I'm cooking with something here because I figured it was inevitable for Chase, but the way the game went and the way Joe Mixon was running the ball, it just wasn't going to be enough. So got to chalk that one up. Urban Meyer out here point shaving, in here giving Carlos Hyde increased usage and kind of jammed us up with James Robinson. Went with James Robinson as a safe player running back because, I figured the volume would be there. And he had a good matchup. He ended up with like 12.5 points, something like that. But, just didn't give us quite that safety that we needed. I mean, he still got a lot of work, but in situations like this with the offense that's not very good, I need all that work, not just, majority of it. So, that one hurt. Then my non-safe player running back ended up being just that. Miles Sanders ended up getting hurt. Came back in the game, but he was splitting work with Boston Scott. I think he only scored like 7 DK points. So, obviously that was unfortunate. It's tragic. Justin Jefferson, 107 total yards, which was good. No touchdown. Jacoby Myers was good. I think he had 5 for 98. So, 2 yards short of the 100-yard bonus. Solid production at his price. Didn't give us that touchdown though, so that hurt. But we could have gotten by if we would have been able to do some other things right. Fryer move came through late with the touchdown. I think he ended up scoring 14. Solid tight end number. But it just wasn't enough there to kind of salvage anything, man. So 116 point total. Not going to get us where we need to get to. So we're going to move along to Week 13 and try to get that bounce back. So first off with the lineup, man, Ravens flock. Speaking directly to you guys right now. Don't want to confuse anybody. You see it in the back. You know where my allegiance is. But the game is the game. I'm trying to find edges any way I can. Trying to get to this bread. It's nothing personal. But my QB play this week, Ben Roethlisberger. Now, this is a play that is not really going to have any middle ground. This is either going to go really good or it's going to go really bad. But at 5K, considering the layers of this situation, to me, it's a worthwhile gamble. So, I'm taking my shot here. Ravens coming into this game banged up in the secondary. They have 5 corners on the injury report. As followers of the team can attest to, regardless of how many of these corners end up active, it's going to be all gas, no brakes from Wheat Martindale. He's going to bring that blitz, third highest blitz rate in the league. But this is a pass defense that's 24th ranked DVOA right now. They've defended the run very well in the last few weeks, despite having injuries in the front 7. The Steelers haven't run the ball great. So, this is setting up as a game where Ben is going to have to throw it 40 plus times, maybe even regardless of the script. So I'm expecting a lot of attempts from Ben. And while his washness, I'm making up a word, is unquestioned, that doesn't matter in fantasy. He can still get there. He has the situation, the matchup, and he has the weapons. that he can get there from a fantasy standpoint, especially at that 5K price point. So we're gonna go ahead and plug Ben into this lineup here. Obviously, I'm gonna stack them. The first stacking partner, pretty obvious one, Deontay Johnson. We know he's a target machine. Pretty much lock him in for double digit targets every game unless there's something fluky that's happening in the game. He's got that sub 10-yard average depth of target, but he's facing a Ravens defense who's giving up the second most yards after the catch in the entire league. So not really worried there, like Deontay Johnson. For the other piece of this stack, I'm going to plug in Pat Fryermuth again. He disappointed for the most part. He did come through with that TD late. He disappointed from a statistical perspective, but he got the playing time jump that we anticipated with Ebron being out. He's got at least one red zone target in every game since week 6, and the Ravens give up the fourth most DK points per game to tight ends. So as part of this stack, I like plugging Fryermuth in here. So and get him in a tight end. That's a solid price at 4,200, and he gives us some upside with that red zone capability. Gonna run it back, and I'm gonna run it back with Hollywood Brown. Um, Wide receiver is kind of shaky this week, and Hollywood is seeming like the guy that's gonna fall through the cracks from an exposure standpoint, but um, in a situation where we're readily and steadily, searching for volume. Here's a guy that's got double-digit targets in each of his last 4 games, and he's going up against the 26th ranked pass defense DVOA. We attacked this defense last week with the Bengals stack. It didn't, fully work out with Chase and with Burrow, but Higgins went off, so uh, the opportunity is there. Hollywood gets targeted down the field. The price tag is reasonable, and even outside of just this game stack, this is just a play that works. With his price point. So like going there. So now we set ourselves up to be able to plug in some guys that are popular. We can kind of ride the wave a little bit since we kind of went off the beaten path with that game stack that we're starting off with. So first guy I'm plugging in here is Alexander Madison. His price at 7,600 compared to a lot of the value running backs on this slate is something that I hope is going to kind of cap his popularity, because he's going to be an absolute staple of what I'm doing this week, man. I'm expecting 25 plus touch opportunities. The matchup is beautiful. He's talented all around player, and so I love getting him plugged in here. So let's get him. If I can find the game, here we go. All right, so we're gonna plug in Alexander Madison here, and like I said, because of the game stack, we can um, eat some more chalk, as they say. Going Antonio Gibson with my other running back pick. Another guy in a great spot. No JD McKissick this week. I don't expect him to absorb that entire third down role, but I also don't expect Wendell Smallwood to absorb it either. 7 targets last week from Gibson. He's been getting healthy share carries. He's going up against a Raiders defense that can't stop the run, and they're top 10 in targets allowed to the running back position. So 5,700, he's a great play. So got running back plug, taken care of. I'm going to fill out that last wide receiver spot with a guy that kind of eluded me a couple weeks ago when I put that jet stat together. And that's going to be Elijah Moore. He's going to be a locked in full-time player. He has been the last couple of weeks, but even more so with Corey Davis potentially missing this game, and Keelan Cole um, is going to miss this game, and looks like Jamison Crowder is kind of taking a step back. So Elijah Moore is just a talented, explosive guy. He's out there gaining separation and earning targets. And in this matchup with Philly, Philly's a pretty solid defense, um, but they play at the third fastest neutral pass rate. So I'm sorry, neutral pace. So that is going to give us a chance to get a few more plays under our belt for the Jets offense, which I like. So like going Elijah Moore here. His price point, there's going to be guys like Darnell Mooney, Michael Pittman, Hunter Renfro. Those guys are going to be more popular in that price range. But I'll put Elijah Moore's ceiling right up there. Well, not right up there. I'll put his ceiling above those guys. We've seen him, go off a couple different times this season. So really like the opportunity to play him here. Now we're gonna go to that flex spot. I'm gonna try to scoop up some more of this running back value, and I'm gonna go with James Conner here in that flex spot. Just a great running back week, so I want to try to take advantage of that. And Conner's a 3 down back. Now this is contingent on Kyler Murray playing. If Kyler Murray doesn't play, then I'm gonna go pivot somewhere else. But Kyler Murray plays. I like the offensive environment, and you're getting a guy who, again, is a 3 down bat. And in this environment with Kyler and with Hopkins in there, he's a guy that's got multiple TD upside. The Bears defense is banged up, especially in the front seven, and they could be without Roquan Smith, their stud middle linebacker. So just, really a tremendous spot for James Conner this week. And now we're going to close things out with defense. And defense this week, I kind of want to pay up. I'm sorry, for defense. I'm not really crazy about a lot of the values at defense this week. But I mean, I don't have a lot of money here left. It's 2,800, so I'm going to go ahead and correlate here with my running back play with Gibson and play that Washington football team defense at 2,500. They're probably the most appealing value defense to me, just looking at how things are shaking out. The last 4 weeks, this Washington defense has kind of looked like the defense we were expecting coming into the season. They've held some units in check, including flustering Tom Brady in that Bucks offense and holding them to 19 points. So obviously, I like the correlation aspect of this, but I also like the hedge it builds in because, as I mentioned before, Hunter Renfro is a guy that's going to be a popular option, nice value. Foster Moreau is going to be probably the most popular tight end on this slate at his at least 2,700 price. So I think this kind of builds in a hedge that I like being able to do when I'm playing anything really, but defenses for sure. That's a spot where I try to go against the wave, and we're able to do that here with Washington at 2,500. So that's gonna do it for the week, man. Remember to like, subscribe, and here and on all digital streaming platforms. Check out the Deep Cover Podcast, our group. Um, Pod, and good luck in week 13, and go out there and get you some bread.